So Apple just dropped visionOS 26. And let me tell you, this isn't just some minor update. They're making a real play to change how we interact with the digital world. Today, we're going to break down what that actually means for all of us.
But to really get a handle on what's going on here, we have to take a step back and answer a much bigger question. Forget all the buzzwords like VR or AR for just a second. Apple really wants us to think in terms of spatial computing. So what is that?
Well, it turns out Apple is being incredibly deliberate with their language. This quote, it's a direct order to developers from their own App Store guidelines. They're basically drawing a line in the sand saying, hey, this is a whole new category, and that points to a really fundamental shift in how they see the future.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in the real world? The idea behind spatial computing isn't to escape reality or replace it. It's all about enhancing it. Just imagine your apps, your photos, your work, all existing as these interactive objects right there in the room with you, blended right into your physical space.
And the engine that makes all of this magic happen? That's visionOS. Now, at its heart, it's actually built on a foundation that millions of us already know, iPadOS. But it's been completely re-engineered from the ground up to understand and interact with the physical space around you. It's the brain that powers the entire Apple Vision Pro experience.
If you want to understand just how committed Apple is to this whole idea, you just have to look at how visionOS itself has evolved. I mean, the pace of its development really tells a story.
Just look at this timeline. It's kind of wild. Version 1 launched in February 2024. A little over a year and a half later, we're jumping all the way to version 26. Now, the numbering is definitely unusual, but what it really shows is that Apple is just pouring massive resources into this platform. They are iterating and adding new stuff at an absolutely breakneck speed.
Before we get into all the new stuff, let's just do a quick reminder of the core magic here. There are no controllers, not in the traditional sense. You navigate the entire system just using your eyes and your hands. You literally look at an app or a button to select it, and then you just pinch your thumb and index finger together to click. It's so intuitive, so fluid. It's really the heart of the whole experience.
All right, so now for the main event. What's actually new in version 26? Because this update is where Apple's vision for a truly personal and immersive space really starts to click.
The big theme with visionOS 26 is all about making your digital space feel just like your physical space. We're moving way beyond a simple grid of icons. Think about it more like you're arranging furniture in a room. You can put your weather widget on the wall right by the window, maybe put a photo album on the coffee table, and they'll be right there waiting for you when you come back. And here's how that all comes together. You can now place widgets, like a calendar, so it looks like it's just floating next to your real-world desk lamp. You can take a favorite 2D photo and turn it into what they call a spatial scene, making it feel like you're looking through a window into a memory. Even your persona, that's your digital you for video calls, is getting way more lifelike. And yeah, finally, you can organize apps into folders. It seems like a small thing, but it's a huge step in making this environment as practical as our desktops. Every one of these features is designed to make the space feel less like a computer and more like your room. Apple is also completely rethinking one of the most basic things we do every day, browsing the web. With visionOS 26, Safari becomes something else entirely. And this slide just perfectly captures the leap. I mean, today, we stare at flat pages on a screen. With spatial browsing, as you scroll through an article, a 3D model of a new sneaker could literally pop right out of the page, and you can spin it around and look at it from every angle. It means you're not just consuming content anymore, you're actually experiencing it in 3D space. But this whole dimensional shift isn't just for the web. Nope. visionOS 26 is packed with new tools that are changing how we create and experience all kinds of media. For those of us who just want to watch cool stuff, this means we get native support for incredibly immersive 180 and 360-degree videos. And there are even new environments, like being able to stand on one of Jupiter's moons. But for creators, this is huge. Apple Intelligence is supercharging the image playground for AI image generation. And new hardware support, like for the Logitech Muse, opens the door for serious, professional 3D design. It's a massive update for both sides of the coin. But look, this technology can't just be a solo experience, right? So let's check out how visionOS 26 is building out a more connected world for apps, games, and, other people. And you know what? That ecosystem has an absolutely incredible head start. From day one, the Vision Pro has been compatible with over 1 million existing iOS and iPadOS apps. That gives users this massive library of software they already know and love right out of the box. No new platform has ever launched with that kind of advantage before.
And beyond all the productivity apps, Apple is getting really serious about making visionOS a real gaming platform. Version 26 adds some key features that developers and gamers have been begging for.
Okay, this is a big one. Support for the PlayStation VR2 Sense controller brings a high-precision tactile gaming experience to the Vision Pro. You combine that with faster 90 Hz hand tracking, and suddenly the games you're playing are more fluid, more responsive, and way more immersive than ever. This is a clear signal that Apple is serious about high-end gaming.
And finally, spatial computing is starting to become a shared activity. With visionOS 2.6, you can now share what you're seeing, whether that's a movie, a presentation, or a game, with other people using a Vision Pro in the same room. It totally breaks down that feeling of isolation and makes it a collaborative, social experience. So, after all these updates, what's the big picture? I mean, where is all this headed? What's the one thing we should really take away from visionOS 26?
You know, I think this quote from CNET from when the Vision Pro first launched still just hits the nail on the head. The technology is absolutely mind-blowing and the potential is so obvious. But it's also very clear that we are at the very, very beginning of this journey. It's an incredible, but definitely still unfinished future.
When you really boil it all down, every single feature we've talked about today, from widgets floating in your living room to 3D models popping off a web page, is all designed to do one thing: dissolve the boundary between our digital world and our physical one. It's about making technology feel less like a tool we have to use and more like a natural part of our environment.
Which, of course, leaves us with the ultimate question. Are we looking at the very beginning of the next great shift in personal computing, the thing that comes after the smartphone? Or is this going to end up as a powerful, fascinating, but ultimately niche product? With visionOS 26, Apple has definitely made its case more compelling than ever. And I guess only time will tell. Thanks for joining this explainer.